Okay, welcome to the Dr. Nia Desnia show. We're excited for everyone to be here today. I want to say thank you. This is a platform where I share tips to help SMEs thrive. Yes, I know today has been a long day, so but I said I still have to, have my show today. And so if you're just joining me for the first time, you're very welcome. So today I have another interesting topic, and the topic today is C Corps, right? I talked about S Corp the last time, and so I'm just looking at C Corp. I've heard people say, why do I have to have the C Corp means C Corporation? Why do I have to an S Corp? Now I gave some highlights on the S Corp last time. So I'm going to highlight some aspects of the C Corp. Of course, if you have issues, it's better for you to set up a consultation with me and come to my office, or we can do Zoom also. That works. So no matter where you are, I do Zoom meetings. Okay, so let's look at a C Corp. Now, a C corporation is a bit different. And again, I'm not going to go through all the differences because we don't have time. This is just some kind of tidbits, right? Highlight some areas. Now, just like most of the corporations, you have what? Limited liability, which is awesome. What does this mean? It means that if something happens and they sue the company, they don't come after you. Of course, there are exceptions. I'm not going to go through that, but just know that generally that's what it means. All right. So beautiful. That protection is there. Yippee. Everybody's excited with that. So that's wonderful, right? Now, another good thing about the C Corp and this limited liability is not only for the C Corp. I mentioned LLC, S Corp, they also have that. Now, another thing that is great for the C Corp is that I mentioned, I believe in LLCs, or no, was it S Corp? I mentioned that you cannot just have for an S Corp, you can't just have specific, ordinary shares and preferential shares and all kinds of stuff. You can't do that with an S Corp. Of course, S Corp has a beautiful structure because of some advantages I talked about. Of course, there are more than that because of time. But for a C Corp, you can do that. You can have ordinary shares, these preference shares. You can have different kinds of shares, right? Depending what you want. So that's what works with for an S corp. You can have that, and sorry, for a C corp, all right, you can have whatever you want in respect of the type of shares, right? You might say, and then of course I'm not going to go and break down why do we do ordinary preference shareholders. Don't worry about that. Just know you can have ordinary preferential shareholders, right? Those have to, it just depends on how you want to structure it, but it's doable. You can do it. That's what I wanted to let you know, right? Just know that you can do it unlike the S corp, right? You can do that, right? Now, another great thing about the P corp is the transferability. I know sometimes people have heard that oh, I leave my shares, these particular shares of this company to my daughter, to my son, to my grandchild. Yes, you can easily transfer your shares, which is great for an S corp. Sorry, I don't know why am I saying that. Yes, it's been a long day, so forgive me. But I'm talking about a C corp, so it's been a long day, so just bear with me. So again, we're talking about a C corp, right? So the beauty of it is that there's easy transferability, and I'm not saying there's no transferability for the S corp and all that. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just saying that in this case, easy transferability. And I know sometimes we hear that people like to invest more in C corp, right? They say that people prefer investors. I mean, prefer investing. They like the C Corp structure more. They feel that that's a better structure for them to invest in. But I mean, of course, we know that when I talked about, and this one, yes, I'm talking about the S Corp, there were exceptions, right? You can't bring in someone that is not a US citizen or not a permanent resident, right? You can't do that. But for a C Corp, oh wow, anybody can be a shareholder, right? That's the good thing about the C Corp, right? Now, you might say, oh, but this is beautiful, right? But why isn't why so the C Corp is a better structure? Well, now let's go and look at the other side, which is the downside of the C Corp. Now, and if you have ever had shares in a company, for example, let me throw out maybe Coca-Cola. Sometimes you get dividends and they send you a 1099 DIV. Okay. News news here. I'm going to give you some kind of news. You might say that, okay, I own the C Corp, maybe ABC, or maybe ABC C Corp. That's mine. I'm the 100% owner. But you know what? The structure yeah, it's the way it's structured really means that you're separate from your business, as we said, separate entity. But the thing about the C Corp is that you don't get a distribution. You don't get a K1 like that. A payment is going to be made to you by C Corp. You get what? A 1099 DIV. The same thing you get if you have shares in Coca-Cola. You have shares in where Pepsi or whatever company you have shares in. They give you, if they declare a dividend, you get a 1099 DIV. So yeah, you'll be wondering, but this is not Coca-Cola. But well, the structure, you set up a structure like that, and so you can't get a distribution. You can't get just withdraw money from the company like that. Of course, you can get a salary. I mean, for a C corp, but you can't just say that I'm getting a distribution from a C corp. It has to be in form of a dividend, and that's when we go to what double taxation. What happens for a C corp is that a C corp is not a flow-through entity, or is it called flow-through, pass-through entity, meaning that unlike now I'm talking about, yes, I'm talking about the LLC and the S corp. It flows through to the owners of the company. The profit or losses flow through the entity, meaning that when you file a tax return for for example, an S corp, right? It's not There's no taxation on S corp tax return. So there's no taxation, right? It flows through. There's tax on the owners, shareholders, right? Shareholders 1040, which is the personal return. Well, in respect of the C Corp, there is tax. There is tax on the profit or loss on that entity. There's a tax. Well, loss, we know there's no tax on that, but of course, the exceptions, we don't want to go through that complexity here. I don't want to go through that, but just know that the tax on the C Corp tax return. Then why do we say it's double taxation? Because when you get a Form 1099 DIV, you also you also pay taxes. Think of it. If you get a 1099 DIV, of course, it will be included as income on your personal taxes, and so you pay. So your company is paying that money, and you too, you're paying that money. So that's why we say double taxation. Now, I know sometimes that people still go with a C Corp. I get it sometimes, but I always like to weigh everything, all the possibilities, right? And say, do you really want and check if the C Corp is really right for you, right? A C Corp is one of the most complex structures because you have to do minutes, you have to have meetings and all that, and document it with all those stuff. You have to have corporate meetings and all those things, document things. And I mean, so again, um, you know, if you look at the financial aspect of it, what about the double taxation, right? That means more money, more taxes. You'll be paying more tax. The entity paying tax, you are paying tax on the 1099 DIV. So again, the complexity is there, right? So I mean, there are things that there are disadvantages for a C corp, and then also remember, and the beauty of I've got, of course, nobody's into business to have a loss. Nobody wants to get into business so that they can have a loss. So nobody wants to do that. But the beauty of having a loss when it happens, and again, should I say beauty? No, because nobody wants to get into business to have a loss, but or make a loss. But if it happens, right? If it happens, right? If you're the other kinds of entities like an S corp and LLC, you flow through to you on your personal return, and you get to take a deduction because it's a business, right? It's a trade or business. But on the C corp, you don't do that because remember, it's on the entity's part of it. So you don't even get that benefit. Oh, we made a loss, so I can get the benefit. Nope, you don't get that. So generally, a C corp again, there is more than what I've just said. Always a short summary or short tidbits when I come on air. But I just want or do my video. I just wanted to make sure I'm highlighting this. And making sure that you're well informed. Of course, I always say that this platform is for informative and it's informative and educative. That's why I speak on this platform. Of course, if you want to get this is not professional advice. I always say that. So if you really want to dig in and say, well, because I'm not saying a C corp will not work for you, but I always like to see is there any alternative right? To see, right, what works and one can do. So if you're not sure or if you don't have a CPA that you're working with, please just reach out, go to my website and navigate and set up a consultation, right? And then let's work with you. All right. So, it's good to know the facts when you're choosing the structure and the best structure that will work for your entity. All right. So, thank you for being here. And of course, as I always say, if you want your SME to thrive, you have to be intentional. All right. See you next time. Bye for now. Bye.